turnovers here at the end, but you know that's you look at it. Those guys now get their opportunity to go in a game, and here you are in front of a crowd, game on the line. How do you perform? And that's what it's about. I think we had a great crowd here today, and for us, that's what is so important in the spring game is putting young players in a game-feeling situation. You will come and scrimmage in the stadium, and it's important, but all of a sudden you put a lot of people in the stadium. People are cheering and all that. It's a different type of pressure, and that's good to have those guys experience that.
Dontavian Lee closed the spring strong again. I think 5 touchdowns in the total of the scrimmages. What kind of did you see from him this entire spring?
Well, I think he runs the ball really hard, and the one thing I think he's done a really good job of picking up the offense. That's important for young guys. As you say, I mean, he's a running back. You recruit him to put the ball in his hand and let him go run. But there's so much more of the game than that, and I think he's done a really good job of picking up the offense and understanding those things.
How does a guy like Gary Green step out of the shadow of Bernard and be his own player?
Well, because he is his own player. I mean, Gary. I think just their physical attributes.
Right.
They play the same position. It's like, wow, here's a big guy. But Bernard didn't look like that when he was a freshman, and Gary does. So, but I think Gary just understands with himself of what type of player he can be and how hard he has to work. And and he has such a great work ethic. I mean, he's got one of the best work ethics I've been around.
What kind of momentum did he create for himself heading into the fall practices?
I think good. I think, this is what this game's about is guys like him. I mean, he's a guy now, as we go in and, we put in guys who are like with that second defensive group to go on the field. That last year we just freely rotated them all out there. There's a bunch of them that have talent but have never been on the field in a game situation. So he's out there today, gets to be in a game situation, gets to experience what it's like under pressure. And, hopefully we're only a couple more months away, and it's afterwards it's not about cleaning the stadium, it's about being really 1-0.
You guys have a lot of depth at receiver, and that was obvious today. You split them up, and you guys did like you played.
It was. We had a bunch of guys out, with Malik and Gabe and Jesse Jackson all out. So, you saw, I think it hurt our depth as the scrimmage went on to not get those guys out there. But, for us, it's a position with some experience back. And great thing, those guys are going to have a great summer. I think, with a guy like Dak that's leading the way and really pushing all those receivers to get everybody to get their timing down, he's a great guy to go lead them.
Are you comfortable with how the offensive line is developing, replacing those 3 guys? What do you think about that?
Yeah, they're coming along. I mean, we got a long time till we still got to play. The one thing is, I think we got a bunch of good offensive linemen. We just got to get them experience. They can't get enough reps. I'd love to go another 15 practices with the offensive line. They just to get the reps and get that experience that they're a very young group. And, even I think there's only about 2 of them that have had like legitimate bunches of game reps. Damian Robinson's played some, Devin Desher's played some, Jamal Claiborne's played some in games, but really only Justin Senior just one of chunks of playing time, and so we need to get them as many reps as possible before the season starts.
You talk about Dak's presence with the receivers. When you've got a guy in his 4th, 5th year with the program, I mean, what kind of luxury is that for you? I mean, what kind of next level stuff do you want to see from him in his development?
Well, I mean, a couple things. One, you want to see in his development, his ability to get to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th progressions, make throws, off-balance throws, unorthodox throws, changing arm angles to get it around linemen, protecting the football, making good decisions, things that, it takes some experience you want to see. But, the biggest one right now over the next couple months is here's a guy that knows what it takes when you're on the field to go win. So he's going to walk out there. I think we're probably the only sport in the world that the 3 months leading into the season, the coaches can't be around the players with a ball on the field. We get sitting in a meeting with them, but now they just changed that rule. But you can't be there with a ball ever. From now it's April 18th until about 30 days before kickoff. And so you need a guy like that that's going to go make sure we continue to improve as a unit on offense and as a team throughout the whole summer months.
Talk about some of the injuries. Do you expect any of them to linger over into the fall?
We should have everybody back by, I'm hoping to have them all back by June 4th when they all show back up for summer school.
With so many running backs receivers, were you able to get enough snaps in spring to really learn what all you've got to work with?
Oh, yeah. I think, what I'm pleased is that nobody took themselves out of contention. To me, I don't know that anybody earned a spot yet, but you certainly would earn less reps. You got to do that. We got a long training camp to go for guys to continue to improve, continue to learn, and so with a lot of young players, especially the running backs, they got a lot more time to continue to improve.
Looking back at spring just as a whole, is there anything
difficulty? What was it, the intensity, the consistency, the tempo?
Well, I think we're a young unit that has great attitude, and the kids want to work, but they got to learn how to work at our level. I think one thing as a young player, the strain you need to go be successful in this league, the strain, the standard of which we set here at Mississippi State of what we expect guys to go play with is very high. And so I think as a lot of young players, they got to learn, even though they think they're going hard, they might not be yet. And so that was a big goal of ours in spring. We'll evaluate. We'll sit down with each player and evaluate, did they learn to play and give maximum effort, even more from the first to the last practice. And that needs to continue moving forward.
Did you see it, though, first couple
A lot of times, it's at the end is when you want to see it. You know, I mean, they have no clue. When you get out there, sometimes they're excited to be out there to practice, but I'm talking the real strain of covering a kick, of running straight into the football. Those type of things are critical. And young players think they go hard, but even though they think it, sometimes they're not. And, when you watch it on film, that's something huge for us to get there.
You're satisfied with Manny's job this spring, second time around in the program?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, man, I always know Manny does a good job. I mean, we got to, I think, in just getting everybody on the same page. And, the nice thing, I think we have a coaching staff that's been around each other. There's no panic here or there. There's a lot that needs to be done and a lot of practice that needs to be done before we have to go play a game. And I think everybody had that focus. We don't play until September, of making sure we're continue to build. So when we hit in September, we're ready to go play.
Because a guy like AJ.
Did you feel that changed his break a little less? You got a pretty good chip on your shoulder. You guys have
Yeah, I think the expectations in the program are high. I mean, this team expects to go compete for the SEC championship. And there's not a guy in the program that doesn't think that's going to happen. And so, I think that attitude, that hunger to go get back there, and we've been there. We've been in those big games. We've won big games. So I think that experience is a comforting factor for guys. They know what they need to do to be successful.
Did a guy like AJ Jefferson flashed you at all this spring?
I did. He did, but he did last year a lot. He's one of the guys. Hey, it's a great thing you look and say, boy, AJ's not considered a returning starter for us, but he played an awful lot in games. You can watch highlight videos of last year, you're going to see a lot of AJ Jefferson on there. So I think the biggest difference, though, that those guys are going to understand is that you can't, when you're going to be the one, when you're a starter, it's got to be every snap. It's not come in and make some plays. Guys like AJ and Chris Jones, you understand, it's not about just coming in to make plays. It's about doing it every single snap. The consistency that you need to play at is extremely high, and that's important as you become a starter.
The streak continues. Anthony Dixon scoring in the spring game. What does Anthony mean to you, on a serious note? What does he mean to you?
Anthony's great. I mean, here's a guy that completely bought into what we're trying to do and build here as a program. And a guy that takes a lot of pride in thinking what has happened here in the program, even though he's not the one out there on the field doing it. And so, I didn't call the play this year. Usually I call it or even approve it. I didn't even approve it. So it was a questionable final score, with that play being the difference in the game without my approval. But you know what? I mean, he's such a great kid and believed in what we were trying to do, what we were trying to accomplish early on. You look at the captains that year, him and Jamar Chaney, what they bought into. With here they are coming to their final year with a new coach coming in, and they bought all in. So I mean that they've helped set the foundation of what's become our program and where it is today.
Does the play call have a specific name, the Booby Dixon play?
No, I don't know. I don't even know how they got it figured out today to go do that. I mean, I'm just like, what are they doing? And then all of a sudden the ball's launched, and I'm like, there's Anthony going to score. So, yeah, a lot of people are like, who was that? What just happened? And I knew exactly who that was and what just happened. So even though I didn't know it was coming, it happened.